The Media Element Player is a very versatile plugin. It allows us to customize the UI to match any branding or styling that we want for our video. It also plays audio. It also bypasses YouTube's ad insertion. So if we have any want to play something, either an ad will play at the beginning or an ad will play at the end, and we don't have any control over the video itself. So the Media Element Player will give us all those options. Now that we have all the files installed that we need for this, we're simply going to double check that our video sources is correct. And here we just see two sample video sources refer to our lecture about the video element and how to use the source element inside of the video element. And then we can take a look at our scripts.js, and this is just turning on the video element player. And for this project, we're just selecting the video and applying the action of Media Element Player straight from the documentation. And for this project, we don't need to have any plugins. And if we were to run the project in debug view, right, we can see that our project plays just fine. Right? And that styling that you're seeing here in red is what we're going to be doing here in just a second. And that's it. And if we were to turn off the plugin, or if any of the files weren't in the right spot or moved from the template provided, you'll see here that the plugin breaks and the video doesn't play. So here we have our template provided for the movie trailer project. And what we want to be able to do is use that. So if we take a look at our controls.svg here, this is the SVG file that has all of the UI for our video player. So we can style this in one of two ways. We can go ahead and just select the element and control some things about it. The element that shows the current time, and we can come in here and we can adjust the font size and bump it up that way if we wanted to, because that's just plain text. But for some of the UI elements, like the play button here, that's actually in the SVG file. And so I've inspected this right here, and to double check that we have the right one, we can simply turn it on and off with the dev tools, and to see that we have the right element there. So to make modifications to this UI. So here I've downloaded and exported the project, and I'm going to browse from the SVG file, and there's the controls.svg, and they're white icons on a white background, and I've opened that up in Sketch. This is Sketch, Illustrator. Use whatever you like to modify an SVG. And I'm going to put this on an artboard just so I can see it, and give the artboard a color so it's not white on white. And there our UI is. So I'm going to make some small changes to this just to demonstrate something real fast. So I'll make these as bright and as visible as possible. Maybe give it a border, maybe give it a shadow. Let's give it a red shadow for no other reason than it's easy to see our changes. We're again just doing all this to make sure that we can see this. Maybe select this element and change that fill color. All right. So experiment with the UI and figure out what's going to work best for you. So I've exported out my changes from either Sketch or Illustrator as the same SVG file. You can even write over the existing one, and there are our changes. And then you simply take that SVG file and upload it back into your project. I'm going to replace the existing controls.svg with the one I just uploaded, so we can do this by deleting the existing one and then simply moving the new one into the appropriate spot. Let everything save and run. So we can modify the actual controls.svg files to style it, and we can also hook into the any of the classes there. So say I wanted to adjust current time, I'm going to highlight that, find that class, and simply just copy it out. And a good way to see if you have the right element selected is find that element, then come over here and either turn on the properties or simply make adjustments to its values right in the DevTools. And once you have that, you can just copy out the class name, go into your project, and we can call this thing whatever we like. How about media player? And then there's our hook, and no need to do any typing. We're just going to copy and paste it out as is. And here we adjusted the font size. So we can go font size and make it 24px and hit save on that. So if we can modify one element, we can modify all the elements that make up our media player. And this is the flexibility of the media player that you don't get with a YouTube embed. And once those have saved, we can refresh this, and now we've increased the font size. So between the SVG file and the actual hooks provided by media player, there's a lot of styling that you can do here with this plugin.